Hi, my name is Sabiya Pathan Withoeck, and welcome back to another episode of Rooted and Routed. Today, I have another special guest. Yes, I keep on saying every guest is special, but let me tell you one thing. On this podcast, so far, we have covered different topics, whether it is expats, nomad, digital nomads, or the returnees, or the ones who have settled in a country which is not their home country. Today, I am exploring a guest who comes from the culinary world. His name is Christian Huber, and he's the executive chef of Sorriso restaurant in Marriott Suites. Let me welcome him. Hi, Christian Huber.
Hi, hello, and welcome. Yeah, thank you very much.
Let me start with your story. So, as an executive chef and also an expat, we don't know much about the story, about the journey. You have lived in multiple countries, and I think the audience would like to know what is it like to live as an expat, as an executive chef in different countries. Let's start with your journey. When did you start first time as an expat?
Um, as an expat chef, the first time I started in 2005.
Huh?
Right? So my journey at the time was in Dubai. I was a sous chef at a very renowned restaurant. And yeah, from there, I just moved on from sous chef to chef de cuisine.
Okay.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I don't define myself as an executive chef. I define myself as a chef,
Okay.
right? So, because I strongly believe that in the culinary world, titles do not justice to whatever you do.
Okay.
It's your creativity and the ingredients and your food you're making which does justice. So, chef is
Just the chef.
appropriate.
Yeah, and also you're an Italian, so
Yeah.
did I say that? That you're an Italian to the audience? Yes, he's an
Yeah.
Italian chef. Did you say that?
No, you didn't, but now you said it. Yeah. Well, very well.
Well, let's talk about your craft. And then when you started in Dubai, or was it only Dubai or you moved on to another country?
See, I did a few stints when I was in Europe. I did a few stints in Hungary over the winter periods, summer periods. Took some time off because I was working only the summer seasons.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I did Dubai. I did Abu Dhabi as well. Still in the UAE. I had I had two restaurants which I ran. One was in Dubai, one is in Abu Dhabi, and later on I moved on to India.
And you moved on to India. I think you've been here for more than a decade, right?
Yeah, I'm now here almost for 15 years.
15.
Yes, you know, yeah, quite a long time.
It is indeed a long time because you've seen then the landscape, the culinary landscape of India growing, evolving. You've really witnessed how it was when there were less ingredients and probably where Indians were not accustomed or ready for international flavors, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. As I said, when I came over here to India, the scene was completely different as it is right now.
Yeah.
You would have less ingredients, more was imported, less, I wouldn't say less was farmed, it was still farmed, but less Western ingredients, like salad, asparagus,
Cheese, maybe?
cheese as well. Yeah, but cheese, you always got imported cheese. For example, as simple as mushrooms, was at the time not as big as it is right now. Like India now has fantastic suppliers who grow their own mushrooms around in farms or housings or
Yeah.
wherever they grow them,
Yeah.
um, which is fantastic, which is great because you don't have to import the whole stuff, right? You get organic ingredients, you get more salads, variety of salads. The old days, the only salad you used to get was a little bit of Roman lettuce, a little bit of iceberg, rucola, very scarce, but yeah. Now you get all the good ingredients, yeah.
But do you think there's a difference in flavor when a mushroom is coming from Europe and the one homegrown, locally grown mushrooms?
Well, see, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we have to distinguish mushrooms as in your champignons or
Yeah.
button mushrooms,
Shiitake,
shiitakes,
portobello.
yeah, portobellos. Uh, See, these are mushrooms which nowadays are farmed all over the world, It's not a
That's also true. Yeah,
it's not a secret or whatever it is. Then obviously then wild mushrooms like your porcini mushrooms or your morels, chanterelles, that is different. Yeah. You still get them imported, except morels, because morels actually grow in India, so
Ah.
yeah, which is great.
What I've come across is the oyster mushrooms, which do not have any flavor. And I feel the challenge of cooking with these mushrooms is very hard. Then you'll have to really pump up a lot of herbs and I don't know, not that spices, but just the herbs to bring in the flavors. But oyster mushroom is not something that doesn't
Yeah,
have any flavors.
it's a different mushroom.
I know.
You need to know what to do with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You worked across cultures and cuisines. Has another chef or region or experience ever shifted the way you think about food? I'm sure every chef have some inspiration, whether it is coming from their own family, especially as an Italian, maybe looking at your family recipes from your nonna, or are there something that other chef that you look up to or have learned because you were also a sous chef. So anything that has shifted the way you look at food. Maybe I think for this question, you'll have to go through your childhood. How did you start to cook?
How did I start to cook? Well, it's a very good question. I mean, I was always drawn a little bit towards making my own food when my parents were not at home because they were out working. I was there with my brother, and sometimes mom used to just keep sauce ready, pasta sauce ready, and say, "Hey, guys, just boil your pasta,
Yeah.
have the pasta, whatever it is." Or she kept dumplings ready, and say, hey, make your own salad. Just put vinegar and whatever it is. So already on a younger age, younger age, what is the age of 10, 12? You know?
Teenager.
Yeah, almost teenagers. This is when people eventually parents leave you alone at the
Yes.
house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we used to make ourselves sandwiches, salads, pastas, sometimes some soups. We used to experiment a little bit around what is also good, what is not good.
Okay.
So, and because we also have a lot of ingredients at the garden back home in Italy, mom has a beautiful garden where she grows many varieties of tomatoes. You find everything in there: salads, zucchini, eggplants, all the herbs you ever wish. And so we could go and get a lot from the garden as well in the summertime, right?
Okay.
Just go out there, pluck whatever you need, and then just cook something up, if you're hungry.
So that's how you started.
Yeah, kind of. We get acquainted it. And then plus, always remember that Italians live in such a culture that cooking comes along with being an Italian.
That's true.
You hardly find an Italian who cannot cook.
It's true.
Right? So it's also maybe because of the culture that we go to savor food rather than feeding ourselves because we are hungry. So we have that kind of a culture in there, right? If you do something, do it right. Otherwise, don't do it.
Also, like Italian, the relationship with food is also quite different than any other part of the world. Italians, huh?
Yeah.
Italians have a very special connection towards food.
For us, food is, for us, good food is, this is our belief,
Yeah.
This is our way to go. This is, it's not that we're not receptive towards different food cultures or different foods or whatever it is. But whenever you speak to an Italian, he will always tell you, oh, I miss mortadella, this, my mozzarella. Here I want my tomato sauce, my need to be like this, my cheeses, my cold cuts. This is something, see, if you look at Italy, Italy is a very product-oriented country. You find, if you go in Italian supermarket, you find a lot of products which you could just purchase, go home and eat, right?
Okay.
You find fantastic bread, you find fantastic cheeses, you find fantastic cold cuts, right? You find your pickles, your whatever you need.
Also, maybe very easily passata, or maybe the way you make the passata is something like a staple ingredient in the fridge. While in here, we don't often do that. That is something that I've learned. Isn't it true? Passata or am I
Yeah,
wrong?
passata. You mean the
Sauce, the tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's not a staple in the fridge.
Oh, no?
It's a staple in the
Region?
no, it's a staple in the shelf.
Okay.
Right? You don't put passata in the fridge.
Okay. Oh,
right?
Okay.
An open one, yes. A closed one, you store it in the shelf.
Okay.
Right? But as I said, and even if you would go to an Italian supermarket, you could collect only products, take your car, go somewhere, have a beautiful picnic, and that's it. You just open your product, and your product will be amazing. It will be perfect. You just open a bottle of wine, and you have the most fantastic afternoon as you ever dreamed. This is the connection, what Italian belief is, right? Towards food.
Yeah.
The product should be your hero. Indian cuisine now here, it's more the masalas, the flavors of the masalas,
the balancing of the
balancing of
ingredient
everything.
spices.
Yes, exactly. Where back home we just grab, take, or go over there, tell someone, hey, slice
You
me
can't do that with the Indian
nice
food.
prosciutto, and you take a bread from the bakery and go and cut it, good olive oil, something on top, and you home, no?
I am back in Italy. I'm just imagining the whole thing. Picnic, You have all these locations in Italy where you can, like, you go in on the top of a mountain, or maybe you're at a location where
Dramatize it in,
yes,
in the
yeah.
Tuscan hills.
Yes,
no?
exactly.
With the Vespa.
Yes. Yeah, it is true. How was your region? Which region were you?
I come from Alto Adige. Is the most northern region in Italy, basically, where the Dolomite Mountains are at home. One of the most beautiful mountains in the world, I have to say.
Haven't been there, but yeah.
Yeah, beautiful region. Although it's a mountainous region,
Mhm.
it thrives of wine
Mm.
and apples, pears. We have a lot of nuts which grow naturally over there as well. We have walnut trees who are all over, scattered all over in the forest. We have chestnut trees. We have berries who grow wild, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries.
And
All you need to go is go and collect.
And do you think so? If these are the things which is really grown naturally, as you said,
Yeah.
do you think because of that, the local regional recipes have the influence of these ingredients?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of recipes who are very influential towards that.
Mm.
Um,
The nuts, with the nuts or the
yeah,
berries.
we are nuts. Lot of sweets, what we do back home, incorporate nuts.
What's that?
We, for example, have for Christmas, we do a traditional Zelten, it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a sweet bread,
Okay.
right? Which is done with a little bit of sourdough and dried fruits, especially apricots, plums,
Sounds
figs, because figs are also.
It sounds very Christmassy.
Yeah, it is. And you just mix it together. And then on top, we put all the walnuts, make a nice, how we call this, a nice ornament on it. And then we'll slow bake it. It's something more you have later on with the after lunch, Christmas lunch or something like that, with coffee.
Or with some cheese, or am I wrong?
No.
Not cheese. It's not
No,
that.
you can. Yeah, but it's not really the tradition with it. Yeah.
When your mama said, okay, be independent and cook when I'm not around, what point did you felt like, okay, I'm ready to probably take it professionally? No, there must be some defining moment. Maybe you cooked something, a complex dish. I don't know.
Okay. Yes. To cook more complex dishes, that was something I have entered in a later stage.
Okay.
Maybe when I was 17, 18, all these, I call it late teenage years. Yeah. Want to be grown up person. But mainly maybe to impress someone, right?
Okay.
Could be also my parents.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I started my journey as a pastry chef when I was, well, that was there. I think I was 16.
Okay.
So very early, right? So 16, I think I was 15, almost 16.
Okay.
I started my apprenticeship, right? Back home at the time, we could start apprenticeship after the age of 14.
Okay.
Right. And then as your 12th standard, you would go to professional school. Right. And so I was already familiar with how handle at least a few kitchen tools.
Okay.
Right. And although I love to be a pastry chef, I graduated as a pastry chef as well, but moved then later on into being a chef, basically, right? Which of course helped me a lot. I used to do pastry, and then I was sometime good period of time, I think it was 2.5 years. I was in a bakery, working as a baker, always at night, and then shifted actually only later when I was 24 years old. 24, 20, yeah, 23, 24.
The first time coming out of
I shifted into being a chef.
And along the way, when you were as an apprentice, any model in your mind that inspired you to take the professional?
Many along. You look into
Okay.
your neighborhood restaurant chef
Okay.
who does the best, I don't know, Sunday stew
Okay.
or the best whatever it was over here. You know, where you looked up and say, hey, wow, that guy, he just does it great. And then as you move on, you would have inspiration maybe to more artistic chefs who would do, as I said, progressive food, right? You have a lot of chefs like Adrian, right? Then you have Gordon Ramsay. You have Alan Ducasse. You don't know Alan Ducasse? No? Waltero Marchesi, the godfather of modern Italian cuisine.
Italian, okay.
Yeah.
Pacific Italian.
Right. And there's so many. There's so many. You know, I mean, I later on was interested also. I used to buy books. You know, at the time, the internet was not invented yet.
Yeah.
So we had to read books.
Yes.
Right. Can't believe I'm saying that. A lot of people would say,
Yeah. It also shows that, okay, we have grown old.
we have grown old.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have looked into books, right? And I loved very books where nice rustic recipes were in there, Italian recipes, and I loved books where all these picturesque Italian dishes were presented in a modern style. You know, like we find it nowadays in fine dining. No, so that inspired me a lot. You try to recreate it. But along the way, eventually you find your own pace on what you want to do, right? They might have some influence into you, but just for a short period of time.
And then you move on.
Then you move on and try to learn from that experience you had by maybe wanting to replicate something what they do.
Yeah.
Maybe some stuff worked out very well for you. So that one you keep with you, and at the end of the day, you find your own style a little bit. But yeah, many influences. I mean, the world nowadays is full with good chefs. There's still even younger chefs I look at, and they inspire me on what they're doing. Like people who are way younger than me.
Yeah.
People who have worked with me and now are very successful.
Well, what's your favorite part of the day in the kitchen? Let's bring you back to your kitchen.
Oh, my favorite part of the kitchen, you know, nowadays is a little bit difficult. I used to be excited when I come into the kitchen.
Okay.
And I still had my own station I had to work on, right? And in the morning, you open up the drawers and see what I have to do the whole day. You make a planning and everything. So yeah, that was actually a good, how you call it, a good way to start your day. You know, you write down your list of ingredients you have to gather. You do your mise en place. Nowadays, when I come here, I check with my guys. We do some menu training. We get together, do a briefing, what went right, what went wrong, maybe the other day. And so, yeah, it's not really something you look forward to, but it's something you have to do. Otherwise, yeah, the espresso in the morning when I enter in the kitchen.
That's the first thing.
That's the first thing I look forward
And that's your favorite part.
That's
right?
the
That's how
favorite
you
part,
start. Yeah. And is there a rule? Can that be your rule and a habit in your kitchen that never changes?
Yeah, I think that's a rule. It never changed. I think I kept that for, I think, more than 20 years easily. Yeah.
How do you approach consistency in your kitchen where your guests come from so many different cultures and expectations?
Yeah. How do you approach consistency? See, consistency comes only with training, you know. You can't be consistent if you're not trained to be consistent, right? You can you can either be consistently bad, but you're still consistent. You will have customer who like that as well. And, or you can be consistently good, you know. Importance, yeah, it is consistency, right? And that only comes with training. You need to teach, you need to follow up, you need to taste, right? A lot to see your product, what you do is not one day like this, one day like that. So that is what consistency is all about.
How do you deal with the different expectations? Because
The expectations of customers, yeah, they vary. As I always say, you know, like food is very objective, right? Whatever is the best dish in the world for someone could be the worst for someone else,
true.
you know. So I I see it a little bit more with a pinch of salt, you know. I mean, we try to please everyone,
Mhm.
but we definitely not able to please everyone, you know.
That's
Although, as I always say, whenever you come to my restaurants, we always give you alternatives. If someone doesn't like something on the menu, we'll change it, alter it for you according to however you want to have it,
Hmm.
right?
I think it's a difficult job. It's not easy to keep everyone happy. There will be somebody who's not happy with, as you said, and then it's a challenge.
It is, but I mean, this goes everywhere in every
That's
sector.
true.
It's not only in the culinary sector. It's also if you go to something as normal as a clothes shop,
Yeah.
right? You go over there and say, "No, this is too big. Can you
Yeah.
alter it for me?
Alter it, yes.
I don't like it that
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
even if it's supposed to be that way."
Yeah.
But nowadays, in nowadays world, I think the world has a little bit more adapted to flexibility, you know, compared to the old days.
Yeah.
You know, old days was like, this is what it is. Whether you like it, good. You don't like it, but it doesn't work that way anymore.
I think it applies also to every cuisine, isn't it? So Italian food is known to be um with Italian flavor specific with cheeses and not something which you will find in India, the spices and stuff, the masala. But yeah, we have come to a point where sometimes you will find some places where they have Italian food, but a little bit accustomed, um, curated for Indian palate.
You could say it that way. I don't want to say it that way because I try to keep things very authentic,
Mhm.
and I don't want to really empathize. Oh, we have customized that to your palate because that is not true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I just made it, made a dish maybe as good as I can
Yeah.
to fit the requirements of local customers. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a guest tell you this dish made me feel at home? Because Sorriso restaurant is part of Marriott Suites, and Marriott Suites have got a lot of expats or I will say foreign visitors. So when they come and dine in Sorriso restaurant, was there a dish that somebody just came and said, "Ah, this made me feel home"?
Oh yeah, we do have customers who stay with us here at the
Yeah.
hotel as well, or who are even local customers who are not local customers, like expat customers who stay here in Pune, who come and visit us at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And when they come, they tell me something. Can you make me this particular dish today, or whatever it is? And I make that dish for him, and then later he say, "Oh, I'm like, it's like being at home."
Something which was not on the menu and
Yeah,
you
something
make
what
it.
is not on the menu, you know, like something simple, something, for example, um, which is very odd, put on a menu over here because you think the audience would not appreciate that as much.
Mm.
But as I said, special requests, not a problem. You know, that's why why you are a chef. That's why you're skilled to do that. You know, so like something simple as a carbonara or a amatriciana or something like that. People request. If you make it well for them, yeah,
You're happy.
you get the gratification that they tell you. Yeah, it's like home. It feels like being in Italy. Or so. Yeah.
And was there something where you feel like this is my signature dish and I want to be very protective about a particular dish and I cannot do that or I have to compromise on that part? As is there a moment or a dish that you did change but was not really feeling 100% like happy to change it? You know? Because sometimes you have the chef are very protective about their dish that they have curated. If somebody's asking to change it, becomes that okay, that's not my dish then. How do you deal with that?
See, I do have signature dishes,
Okay.
right? I have two signature dishes, which are very regional specialities as well. And I make them a little bit my way. That's why it's a signature.
Mhm.
People do come and tell you, yeah, make it different, or I want to have it with this or that. See, you have to you have to see it two ways. You could be very upset about it, right? Or you could be, it's okay. I mean, end of the day, the customer is king, right? We have to always appreciate that as well. They come here for the food, they come here for the ambience, they come here for the service, you know. So it's a kind of, you could explain that that dish should not be eaten that way, or you should not add particular ingredients
Yeah.
or particular sauce to this dish
Yeah.
because it does not do well or
Yeah.
whatever it is. End of the day, yeah, if the customer wants it, you'll make it for him. The only thing where I always say later on is that, well, if later on you're complaining about your own combination, then just don't
Blame me.
fire it back on me.
That's true. That's true. And which dish is your signature dish?
Well, we have rye ravioli over here,
Okay.
which is a very, very famous dish, the region of Alto Adige, where I come from.
Oh,
Um, it's basically a ricotta and spinach ravioli, half moon shapes, made with rye dough, like rye flour dough, right? And served in sage butter, right?
I had that. Yes, it's
Yeah.
yum. I had that, and that's your signature dish. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you try also to come out of your comfort zone, like trying something different from another region of Italy,
Oh,
or
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. As I said, as an Italian chef abroad, you have to be super versatile, you know? Like, for example, if you're an Italian chef, right, and you're abroad, everybody expect you to know how to make pizza,
yeah,
right? But for example, pizza is his own specialty in Italy, right? So a pizza chef is not a restaurant chef, and a restaurant chef is not a pizza chef. But the same in Indian cuisine, right? You don't expect your tandoor chef to make you South Indian cuisine,
it's true.
right? That's the specialty what he's trained for.
Hmm.
For example,
That's interesting.
yeah. Obviously, then an Indian chef who goes abroad, he has to do everything as well. You know, he has to do tandoor, South Indian, this, that, here, there. So yeah, eventually you will grow as a chef if you go internationally as an Italian chef because you've, I wouldn't say forced, but you have to be more lenient to have an understanding of the overall Italian cuisine.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's interesting. Talking about your versatility and the way you adapted, right? You've lived and worked in different countries. What was the difference? What was the difference about arriving in India professionally and personally?
oh, hmm,
Lot?
this is a book on his own. No, um, I mean, you come over here culturally. I mean, when I was in Dubai, I used to travel to India
Okay.
for short trips. 3 or 4 days. We used to be a bunch of chefs at the time in Dubai. We used to work at a hotel, and we were good comradeship. And so we took sometimes 3 or 4 days off work together and came to India to explore real Indian food, the culture, and everything. Just because you can, right? And because you should.
Yeah.
And when I came over here, see, I was already adapted to work with Indian people before, because in the UAE you have a lot of,
Indians.
well, you have not only Indians, you have a lot of people from all over the world. You know, you would have from all over Asia, even Europeans. It's a very mixed kitchen culture, which is fantastic, right? But I was already adapted to, how can I say, to Indian culture a little bit. I did my
introduction to the Indian culture a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, when you hear then fixed, it's going to be a little bit different. You always learn new things which you didn't know before, new cultural experiences, new culinary experiences, and so forth.
And work culture as well?
Work culture here in India is as it is a little bit anywhere, It's a more on the flexible side. But
or maybe difficult, no? Because dealing with the vendors, distributors. I mean, you may have some suppliers for meat.
Oh yeah.
Seafood, right? So not having it on time or the quality of it, I don't know, logistical things.
Yeah. Well, initially when I came over here, yes, absolutely, because India is still upcoming only, but yes, you would sometimes not receive your product on time or not receive at all. Sometimes the qualities were also not nice. You had to give it back and ask for new. But in generically, I have to say, India has adapted itself also to a fast-paced market, So a lot of people actually gear up and take business seriously, So I deal with a lot of vendors which are really serious and very, how you call this, professional.
Yeah.
So I'm not now. There are times you face some challenges, but but they're very minor.
Nothing like a major challenge.
No major breakdown. Yeah, nothing.
And is there something that you didn't expect, but now you appreciate it?
Something I didn't expect.
Or are there many? Something that you didn't expect, but now you appreciate? I don't know. Maybe is it the flexibility?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. As I said, the flexibility of working here in India is very high. As you should have, you have to be flexible as well, right? We all know our lovely traffic, which is around, which we are carrying in our dreams and hopes along with us. And
traffic is one thing that touches every part of our life in India.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think the same is also in Europe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There was something last week I heard from my husband that since the weather in Belgium is getting better, was a traffic jam of almost 3 hours.
We have the same problem over there,
But okay, so that is something that you appreciate, the flexibility part. And
if you come half an hour late because you're stuck in traffic, everybody knows, right? There's eventually nothing you can do except calling and say, listen, I'm half an hour late.
Yeah.
And you can either accept it or be very upset about it and have that rigid mindset and said, no, 8 o'clock means 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or you can say, okay, don't worry about it. We will start in the meanwhile and then just join. Yeah. It's like something you cannot avoid. It's not,
not
as
in
I
your
said,
control.
it's not a laid back attitude. No, no, definitely not.
Well, with your role, right, and the expats that more or less come to your restaurants often at Sorriso or the ones who live in Marriott Suites, do you think being an expat yourself gives you different sensitivity when creating dishes? Do you think that helps? Because if you would not be an expat and a local chef, I think the perspective will be a little bit different. Since you are an expat, you understand what it is when you're missing certain food or really the authentic Italian food and how it can make a difference, you know? Do you think it is true that your being an expat helps in your work?
Yeah,
To some extent.
to some extent. I wouldn't say it is completely true.
Okay.
You know, I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm the expat. I'm the Italian. I know the Italian food
Mm.
as you should know it. But I'm not discounting other chefs over here who are local chefs. They know, for example, expat food as well. And I know fantastic chefs who are um, cooking great European food or Italian food as well. You know, I mean, it helps towards the customer because you are more flexible towards it. You know, if a customer asks you and says, "Hey, make me something which is very special, which is unique of Italian cuisine," then you obviously know because you're the expert. Where, for example, another guy would just hang up and say, "See, I've learned this, not that."
Very rigid.
Yeah, not rigid, but you know, I always say,
not flexible.
What you can't do, you shouldn't.
What you can't do, you shouldn't.
Because the outcome would be, it's like when people come to me and tell me, "Hey, cook me Maharashtrian dishes." I could do my level best, but I would have to Google and everything, but I don't know the outcome. I'd rather say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not the right guy for you."
Yeah.
No? There's nothing wrong with stepping back and saying, "Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
I can't do it."
You also have been, I've seen through your social media that you have been invited as the guest chef in a couple of different restaurants of Marriott Suites, right? Across India. Where you come together with another chef and you prepare maybe for the chef's table. So in that case, that is probably the freedom that you get to maybe curate special menu for them. Do you then put your experience, expat experience, on the plate, or do you still stick with authentic Italian food?
No, this is exactly this is exactly what I like to do.
Okay.
Have a different approach sometimes towards, as I said, when we do a chef's table, when we do when I'm a guest chef somewhere, I try to bring more innovation towards Italian food, not just that straight
Same old.
same old. You know, try to do something new to also showcase myself, right? What I love to do.
Your journey, your story,
Yeah.
whatever you've learned all the way throughout the.
Yeah, you can do more than an aglio olio, for
Yes.
example, right? You know, you are creative. You want to showcase it.
Yeah.
You know, and I love to do that. But as I said, I do it more on special events, wine dinners, which are then curated around the whole experience. You know, and then where I have an audience also who would be more open to try a more progressive Italian food rather than, or modern, yeah, you could say modern Italian food rather than always, let's
Classical
be, yeah,
dishes.
and serving every day bruschetta aglio olio, then you serve a minestrone, and then you serve, I don't know, cotoletta milanese,
Or bolognese.
a bolognese, you know. I mean, these are staples which you would go and eat in a restaurant, right? But for high-end dinner, you would expect someone comes up with a little bit more modern approach.
Modern approach, gastronomy.
Exactly. A modern touch to the whole event. I love to do that, yeah.
Ever tried a deconstructed tiramisu?
Um,
I've never had. I'm just asking. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. The word deconstructed sometimes should raise already alarm bells, right? It's like we do deconstructed roads,
Yeah.
right? Or deconstructed houses.
Yeah.
You should not do a deconstructed tiramisu, right?
Right.
They are meant to be as they're supposed to be.
Chef Christian doesn't like deconstructed.
And maybe a little bit a traditionalist. Like I would deconstruct, if we should use the word deconstruct, a dish a little bit, but I wouldn't call it deconstructed then. I would just call it, it's a more progressive version of that dish.
That's a better word. Yeah.
Right? Deconstructed sounds, you have gone actually backwards.
Yeah. Demolished.
You demolished something.
Yeah.
You know?
Although there are some desserts that I've seen, right, in MasterChef, not just MasterChef, but many other cooking shows where they have this, they make some chocolate ball and in it are the fillings and then just they drop it on the plate and then it's a splash of colors and the whole ingredient is a mess and they call it artistic way
Yeah.
of expressing themselves, deconstructed or progressive or maybe just artistic maybe.
Call it artistic. I don't know.
Artistic. I
I'm
think
not
it's
a
more
very,
artistic.
very fan for, and definitely nothing splashing on a table, right? And how
Yeah.
you never know where that thing lands, maybe on someone's coat or
It will. It is. I'm sure it is, but they don't show. The camera just shows on the plate, not where it has landed. You know, maybe the main ingredient, the core thing, probably is out of the plate and somewhere else. So
it's okay. Maybe one day we do a deconstructed wine and just pour it on the table.
what's that? What's that looking like? Deconstructed wine.
I don't know. Forget the glass. Or just break the glass on the table and pour the wine over.
Oh my!
Or something like that.
Can't imagine that.
Progressive.
Yeah, progressive.
Sommelier.
Variations of progression.
Yes. It's okay. You got what I wanted.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.